Coming to you live from Seward, Florida, the greatest little town in the world, it's the Get Up and Go Show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
Yeah, man.
That's right. Looks like Fredo's here bright and early.
I know that's right.
That's right. I don't know what he's doing here. He got here before I did.
I heard that.
But that's okay. He's allowed here because we'll keep the other lady out that's trying to track him down and say to him,
You my baby's daddy.
Good morning, Bonnie. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine this morning. Evan, you're looking very bright in that nice blue and orange hat that you're sporting.
I'm always looking bright
In the
and blue
sporty
and
look.
orange. Yeah, I got my orange sneakers on, black shorts, gray Mets shirt, and, of course, my Mets baseball cap. Even though we didn't have anything at the stadium this year, I still feel like I need to dress the part and kind of feel like I'm still going to work at the stadium. But instead of hearing the crowd roar at the stadium, I hear the listeners roar when they call in.
That's right.
That's my analogy.
Okay. But I see the New York Mets took a kind of an ugly loss to the Orioles yesterday.
I don't want to hear about that.
Oh, but they haven't been doing too shabby as it is.
No.
But we're just kind of like missing our baseball here at Clover Field in Port St. Lucie.
Yeah, Clover Park. Make sure we say it right because I'll get riffed from that if I don't say Clover Park and we say Clover Field.
Will you really?
Yeah, I'll catch a lot of slack. Let me tell you.
Yeah. I'm still like in the past, and oftentimes I'll
Don't
still
even say that name.
call it Truh.
Don't even say
we
it.
have a little city out there called that, and people like to live out that
Yeah, they
way.
can live
west.
in tradition. They can live in tradition. That's fine, but I have to make sure that I get the name right. Anytime I reference the ballpark, I have to make sure and say Clover Park. If I say Clover Field, my phone will start going off, and the big boss, because the bosses, they listen to this radio show, and if I say it wrong, well, I'll be in deep doo-doo.
Will you get a fine like sometimes the baseball players do? Or
I'll catch a lot of crap.
of course, we've seen more NBA players getting fined with the fouls and the fouling technicalities lately. But would you get a fine? Would they give you a hefty one?
No, but I'd probably get written up. I'd probably get written up by somebody, the boss or somebody would call and say, hey, can you give me a call after the show? And I'm like, sure, I'll give you a call. And I'll say, hey, listen, just make sure when you reference the stadium, it's Clover Park, not Clover Field.
Be in the record books under Evan's name that he didn't call it Clover Park.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
would be atrocious.
I don't like, well, to them it is, to them it is. You're dealing with Major League Baseball. Everything has to be perfect. I got my butt chewed out one year because I said a player's name wrong.
Yeah.
So literally the general manager of the New York Mets had I bumped into him in the lobby area and he, it was brought up that I said XYZ player's name wrong. I pronounced the last name wrong, and I got in trouble for that. It's very meticulous in the world of professional baseball.
What's the name in baseball lately that I have a hard time saying? And I don't think he continued playing this season.
I couldn't tell you.
Yespidus or something? Yes.
No, it's Cespedes.
Cespedes.
Yes, it's Yoenis Cespedes.
Cespedes.
Yes, and that one I got right off the bat when I met Yo many years ago.
Yeah, whenever I see that spelling come up in sports, I have to really concentrate to say it right.
Now here's another one: Jared Saltalamacchia. How about that?
Saltalamacchia.
Saltalamacchia. Say that 10 times fast.
I can get it out, but sometimes it just kind of like depends on the spelling of it.
Mhm.
And then you see something spelled a certain way. And
Right.
what I have to do, if it's like maybe 3 syllables, if a name's 4 syllables,
Right.
I have to put little slants in between to kind of break it up.
Oh, okay.
And just so I spit it out right.
Okay. All right. Well, we want to make sure you spit it out right, not wrong. That's the main thing.
That's
without
right.
a doubt.
Oh, yes.
So what did you do yesterday when you get out of here? What was your agenda?
Well,
Did you do absolutely nothing and just go home?
yeah. I went home and, of course, cleaned some more. I was house cleaning to do, and
Okay.
but I forgot to take out the garbage yesterday. So you have like a million little things in the morning to do
Okay.
anyway. So I had to bring my recyclables out to the curb like we do on Wednesdays, and our main garbage too.
Oh, okay.
So as I got that done, my little kitty snuck out the door
Oh, no.
and went and ran in the backyard in the darkness. And then I didn't see where little kitty went.
Oh, no.
But fortunately, I opened up that door again. I thought, maybe I'll just open it up and call him. And there he was right underneath my feet. Ready
So which
to come
one
in.
was it? Was it Jack Frosty or Hansi?
Hansi.
Oh, Hansi got out.
Yeah.
Hansi escaped.
Hansi does. Hansi
We had an
was
escaped convict.
he was a street kitty when I
Oh.
got him, and there was
Did he break dance? He was a street cat?
he did that stray cat strut kind of thing.
No, okay.
But Jack Frosty's, he's a different breed. He doesn't care to go outside at all. In fact, if I hold him in my arms and I even try to take him out in the backyard,
Okay.
he just zips right in back into the bedrooms.
No, okay.
Complete house kitty.
So you got a street ready cat, basically, is what you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
With Hansi, I do. And
Okay.
one time he got out and he was like away for maybe, good gosh, like 2 or 3 days.
Mm.
He was missing. And then,
Interesting.
but then he returned. He returned
Okay.
home. And I read about it. I went on the internet to, find out about cats and where they roam and how far they roam.
Yeah.
On the internet, it says usually your cat will be in the vicinity of maybe 2 or 3 houses in the neighborhood.
Oh.
And they tend to stay in their general location.
Oh.
Yeah. But one time I lived in Madison, Wisconsin. I lived
Yeah.
in a townhouse
Mhm.
where, you go in the back of the townhomes and they all look the same.
I think there's a cat in here somewhere.
Oh, my.
Yeah. There's a cat in here somewhere, Bonnie.
At the time, my cat Buddy got away, and then I was afraid he wouldn't find the townhome because they all look similar.
Right.
But he came back after a week.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Well, at least your cats don't run off. They just kind of stay in the yard.
They stick around, but sometimes they're just not to be seen. You're always afraid they're going to go, somewhere else and start roaming and be locked in somebody's garage or in somebody's shed
Yeah.
because they're curious and
Okay.
they like to go in places.
I have to give a shout out to a good friend of mine. Name is Scott. He owns Scott's Automotive. We had another issue with Gavin's car, so we took it over to my buddy's shop. It was a good friend of mine from church. Very honest mechanic, very straightforward. He's a man of God. And I took my Gavin's car over there the other day, dropped it off. I gave him the keys on Sunday at church. They were closed on Monday, so we have a spare set. So we drove the car over, left it there Monday. They worked on it all day Tuesday, and they had to do some electrical rewiring. Because Gavin has an electrical issue in his car.
Oh, that's scary when it
Yeah.
comes to electrical.
Yeah, so they trace the problem, and I get a call from his shop manager, Corey, and he said, "Hey, Mr. Nine, you can come pick up Gavin's car. It's all done." And I'm like, "Oh, Scott said he wanted it for 2 days because he wanted to have hands-on with the vehicle and find out exactly what was going on." And he says, "No, we got it fixed. No problem. I owe you, and I'll call you with a credit card." He goes, "Don't worry about it." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, don't worry about it." I'm like, "Are you sure?" He goes, "Yeah, don't worry about it."
He wanted to pay it forward and pay it really good.
Yeah.
And that
So-
must make you feel good.
Well, they replace the alternator, and then they replace the alternator again, and that's just kind of the people they are.
An
they're-
alternator is a big thing
Yeah,
too. That's
yeah.
like an expensive.
Yeah.
That's something you don't want to hear.
But
It's
my
your alternator.
My point is that I only have 2 mechanics that I utilize. One that's on the west side of town and one that's on the east side of town. And I've talked about the mechanic on the east side of town once. So now I'm talking about my mechanic friend that owns Scott's Automotive on the west side of town.
Yes, I've heard of that.
Yeah. And, just I'm still in shock even to this moment that it was like, you don't owe me nothing. Don't worry
That's
about it.
Really, really nice. And do you see
Yeah.
him in church too
I see
on
him
Sundays?
every Sunday. He's one of our dream team members, and I see him in church every single Sunday. He's a greeter. So he's there at the door and he greets every single person that walks into that church
With a handshake?
not a handshake. He
Not
does
anymore.
does an elbow bump or a fist bump. Certain people that he's close with, like myself and a few others, he'll give a hug because he is a very affectionate guy. But you would look at him and, he looks like a former Marine.
Uh-huh.
He's got that haircut, the demeanor, the whole 9 yards. And plus on top of it, he's a personal mechanic to a lot of Major League Baseball players
Oh,
too.
he sounds like a very good man. And,
Yeah.
it's good to have that mechanic that you can go to. My mechanic has saved me so often, Tony.
Yeah.
And I think he saved me with this last car move with my purchase, because I almost was going to purchase one of the Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Uh-huh.
I think they're really sporty and
Yeah.
really spectacular and cool looking. But he said, Bonnie, maybe you want to stay away because these cars can come into electrical problems
Right.
after a while.
Right.
And, I wanted to purchase something, something that is fixable for Tony, because he's always just been a really good guy and my mechanic for, oh, good gosh, it might be 8 or 9 years already that I've been going to Tony.
Want to say good morning to Michael Cooperman. He's listening to us on his on our Facebook page, and a very top of the morning to Mark Hales over in England. He says, good morning, Evan and Bonnie, listening to you from an office in southeast London, about 9 miles from Buckingham Palace. Just showed 2 of my work colleagues your live feed. You technically have 3 UK listeners now.
Nice.
Hey, wow. Okay, maybe those 3 can show another 3, and then they'll show another 3 and another 3 and another 3, and we'll have a crap load of listeners.
I wonder what Mr. Wales is driving. Maybe
Well, a
like
car, I
like
would
an
hope.
Aston Martin or something,
I don't know.
like Tim Taylor had in Home Improvement.
I don't know what kind of vehicle Mark drives.
Yeah, but we learned yesterday they drive on the opposite side of the
They
road.
drive on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Well, then again, when they're over here, they're driving on, we drive on the wrong side.
Yeah, I think it would be scary for me to drive over there. I think I would get in like a tons of accidents because I'm not used to driving on that side of the road. It would kind of feel like a freak at first, like not too natural, just like you get up and you ride a bike and you've been riding a
No.
bike for years.
Not at all.
It
You
would
wouldn't feel freakish.
I'd
No.
feel strange
No,
being
not
on
at all.
that side
Not
of the
at all.
road.
I think it'd be pretty cool, but here's the issue. If I got into that car, I'd be driving it on the passenger side, which I don't know if I could handle that, sitting on the passenger side.
Yeah.
So my question is, if you're sitting on the passenger side, is the gas still on the right, which is closest to the firewall, or is the gas on the left and the brake is on the right? So if everything's backwards,
Yeah.
that's something to really ponder.
I would guess you would be going to that gas pedal then with your left foot and doing everything with the left foot and going left for the gas.
Yeah, Mark says he drives a Nissan Qashqai. I have no idea what the heck a Nissan Qashqai is.
A Qashqai. I could have sworn, I wonder if I saw one of those on the road yesterday.
Yeah,
Kind of like wondering what
no idea.
make and model it was. I thought I saw something similar that sounded with a K.
Yeah, maybe we could get one of Mark's coworkers to call in also to the program. We start getting a whole listener base over in London, England, and we get all those
This
people
is
with those
cool.
awesome accents.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll have tea and crimpets while they're on the air with us.
Maybe we would be invited over there to like visit London, and we could go and broadcast in one of their like old time pubs that they have downtown.
We could just stroll in the palace and broadcast live from the Queen's bedroom. That's all. I think she'd love that. That'd be absolutely lovely, mate. That'd be just lovely.
You know how people
Lovely.
how people go to Washington and they go to the Ocean and Whale Watch?
Yeah.
I would love to go to England and Royal Watch.
Royal Watch.
I can say it. Royal Watch.
I wonder if they sell royal underwear over there. That'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Let me have a pair of those royal undies over there.
With the prince's like name sewn across the undies.
Right, or his face across the front. Hi, look down. Here's the prince. What are you wearing today?
We could do that with face masks now, couldn't we? Like maybe, I bet, they're making all these cool little masks. I walked into a convenience gas station in Palm City the other day, and they have these vintage kind of masks that you can wear. And why not, get one with your face right on it so people recognize you?
I think we're going to start a weekly segment with our friend over in England. It's going to be called Tea and Crumpets with Mark.
Wow.
Every week. Tea and Crumpets with Mark.
Tea and Crumpets.
Yes, and I'll play the Royal London music theme or their anthem when we bring him on, and he'll have his own theme song and everything. It's now time for our weekly edition of Tea and Crumpets with Mark. Joining us on our line live from across the pond, it's our good friend Mark Hales. There you go.
Is it Mark Hales or Mark
Yes.
Wales?
No, not Wales, Bonnie.
Oh, I thought
Hales.
it was Wales.
No, it's Hales.
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 Mhm.
Yeah, if you want to look him up on Facebook, he's real easy to find. Mark Hales. But he has his Facebook page on major, Secret Service lockdown. You can't even friend request him. That's how bad it is.
I got a friend request
well,
before.
it's not bad, though. I mean, it's just he has it on lockdown, so he has to friend request you.
Yeah, Prince Harry friend requested me before.
Really?
Yeah. All of
Are
a
you
sudden,
sure it was really Prince Harry?
all of a sudden, I see Prince Harry's face come up in like a nice big Facebook friend request.
Yeah, but it couldn't have been
And
the Prince.
yeah, I didn't believe it, so I didn't respond to
No,
it.
that's probably spam.
Yeah.
It's definitely
I am friends with Geddy Lee, however, on
Who's that?
Facebook, the lead singer from Rush. And Rush is like probably my favorite band of all time.
Okay. Tom Sawyer or Tom Thumb, whatever their song was.
Yeah, and Little Red Barchetta.
There you go.
Drive that.
6:22. It's news time on the Get Up and Go show, where it's 11:22 over where they're having tea and crumpets right now.
It is, isn't it?
Yes, it is. 11:22 over in England. Here's Bonnie at the news desk.
Thank you, Evan. President Trump visits Palm Beach County and makes environmental news while at the Jupiter Inlet Lighthouse with Governor Ron DeSantis and members of Congress yesterday. The president signed an order that extends the moratorium on offshore drilling.
And I will now sign this order. It's an order that does so much for the state of Florida. It's an order that I'm so proud to sign.
Trump says the order expands the moratorium from the Gulf Coast of Florida to the Atlantic coast of Florida, as well as Georgia and South Carolina. A man was struck and killed by a train in Stuart Tuesday night, according to Stuart police. Railroad crossings are closed from the Roosevelt Bridge south to Monterey Road. Crossings from Monterey Road south are open, police said. The crossings will remain closed for an extended period of time while investigators work the scene. No more information was immediately available. A Miami girl is the subject of an Amber Alert. The FDLE issued the alert yesterday for 10-year-old Randy Canyon. She's described as black with black hair and box braids, brown eyes, 5'3" and 140 pounds. Randy was last seen Saturday night in Miami on North Bayshore Drive, and she may be with a white man in a white van. Florida health officials are adding the lowest number of COVID-19 cases to the state's total in nearly 3 months.
The announcement increases the statewide total by 1,823 cases, which is the lowest single-day total since mid-June. The new infections bring Florida's overall case count to more than 650,000. There are 44 more deaths related to coronavirus complications, with the state's virus-related death toll up to more than 11,900 residents. I'm Rick Hoschel.
And lastly, mop-up operations are underway in Brevard County that after an explosion and large fire at the FAR Chemical Company in Palm Bay yesterday morning.
Apparently what happened was there was a refrigeration issue, which started the fire. That caught some barrels of solvent on fire.
A fire department spokesman says they used foam to smother the flames and contain the chemical fumes. Nobody was hurt, and only the plant had to be evacuated. Well, our Major League Baseball action from last night, we did have a couple of double headers. In fact, it was the Minnesota Twins beating the St. Louis Cardinals 7-3, and then St. Louis came back to beat the Twins later by a score of 6-4. Another doubleheader, the Red Sox losing by a run to the Phillies 6-5, and then the Red Sox beat the Phillies 5-2. The Tampa Bay Rays get beat by the Nationals 5-3. Kansas City Royals over Cleveland 8-6. Houston Astros lose to Oakland Athletics 4-2. The Yankees losing to the Blue Jays 2-1. New York Mets, they lost to the Orioles yesterday 11-2. Miami Marlins upsetting the Braves 8-0. The Cubs winning, the Padres winning yesterday. LA Dodgers, so do the San Fran Giants. News time is 6:25. Weather and traffic together are next.
626 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. All brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, Evan, our roadway is looking quiet this morning. We're not finding any accidents to report for US 1, and the major roads north and southbound clear at the moment. There's your latest look at traffic. It's 75 in Stewart. Here's more on our forecast at WPTV.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid-70s under partly cloudy skies and scattered rainfall possible for that morning commute. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s, feels like temperatures in the upper 90s, a mix of sun and clouds and a 60% chance for afternoon to evening showers and storms. Tonight, lows in the mid-70s under partly cloudy skies and some isolated showers drifting in from off the ocean. We'll stay unsettled over the next few days. Then by early next week, slightly drier air moves on in, helping to drop those rain chances. Highs over the next 7 days in the upper 80s to low 90s. Overnight lows in the mid to upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
I just turned 45, yeah. There's an exam that I've got this fall. It's gonna help keep me alive, yeah. The doc said to put your hands on the wall and check for prostate cancer. Cancer's not funny, so do what you don't want to do. I'll check for prostate cancer. It doesn't cost money. Did he use one finger or two?
Yeah, well, if he's using more than two fingers, we're in deep trouble. That's all I got to say. That would be a pain in the arse. Anyway, our Mark, our friend over in England, writes to us that on Monday, his wife and himself, they had tea and scones, is it?
Scones, yes.
Scones with jelly and clotted cream. And he also used to run a weekly online radio show and a podcast. And he basically admits he's a radio ham and often talks to many people stateside. So he's a radio junkie,
That's
which is
great.
fine.
And I think the scones in England, they're some of the best, aren't they?
I don't know what scones are.
I could have sworn I saw Anthony Bourdain one time visit a city in England where they had just like fresh scones. It's kind of like a sweet, flaky pie.
Maybe he can freeze dry some scones and send them over here stateside.
I wonder how much that would cost us to do so.
I don't know. I don't think it'd be very expensive. Maybe you could just put them in like a Ziploc bag and then put the Ziploc bag inside a piece of Tupperware and then just FedEx it over to us.
And maybe he could find like a huge stork over there, like a big bird, and the bird could clip it in its wings and just kind of like fly on over.
Yeah, we keep one in the back pocket. No problem. We do that every day.
Might go over and find that somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. So let's do some viral videos. A Wendy's customer is going viral after sharing her surprising exchange with a drive-thru worker. The customer, who goes by the name of Cherokee Chica on social media, shared the encounter on TikTok. Now, in her video, she places her order from an employee who, to her, sounds more like a recording than a human being. She says she couldn't believe it was a real person, and it's easy to see why she felt that way. The employee answers a complicated series of questions during her order, all while maintaining a monotone robotic disposition. Let's listen.
Sriracha and ketchup.
Can I get honey mustard and barbecue, please?
Honey mustard, barbecue. What would you like for the drink?
Do you all have the Coke Freestyle machine?
Yes, we do.
Can I get a vanilla ginger ale, please?
Vanilla ginger ale. All right. Anything else for you tonight?
That's it. Thank you.
Your total comes out to $5.65. Please bolt the window to be centered out.
Is that amazing?
Now, was that a real person?
That is a real person.
It sounded very robotic.
No, that is a real person because there is video of that person with the headphone on.
How do we know that person isn't a robot? Because they're making those robots to look so human like right now.
Trust me, Bonnie. Wendy's would not hire a robot. I can assure you that. He is a real person, and I'm already working on locating the Wendy's that this person works at and having this person on the radio show.
How, it's going to feel like we're talking to a robot.
I've already sent a private message to the girl on Instagram that went through the drive-thru to find out where this Wendy's is. So therefore, I'm going to call the Wendy's and speak to the manager and ask if she can put me in contact with the drive-thru worker that does that voice.
Sweet.
And we'll get him on the phone.
I did see a robot on television this morning, and this one might be over in England at a mall. The robot's roaming around, and it can detect if someone is wearing a mask or not. And then it will come up to you and politely ask you to put on a mask.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Want to say good morning to a good friend of mine, Dr. James, Mike James, Mighty Mike, longtime friend of mine. Mike and I, we go back to 1988, back in the day of George Cole's The Musical days, when George had that flat top haircut when you could land the helicopter on top of his head. Want to say good morning to Mighty Mike. He has a online radio program that he does each and every morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Good morning, Mighty Mike.
Mike is a great longtime friend of mine. We're very, very close. Funny story. I guess I can tell you the story about Mike and I rekindled our relationship about 11 years ago when I moved up here from West Palm Beach to the Pizzle. Gavin was very small at the time. I want to say Gavin was probably 5.
Only 4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah, 5, 6
Little
years
bitty
old.
One.
Right. So Mike and I, we reconnected again. And I said, hey, come on over to the house. We'll hang out. We'll talk. So he comes over, rings the doorbell, and Gavin's like 6 years old. And he comes to the door and he yells at the top of his lungs, Dad, there's a big brown man at the door. Okay.
Mhm.
You know, Mike is an African American gentleman.
Yes.
Okay. And he yells, there's a big brown man at the door. So Mike comes in and Gavin's a little standoffish. And I introduced, Mike to Gavin. And, I said, Gavin, this is Mike. Mike, this is Gavin. And, Mike has this very boisterous voice. And he goes, how you doing, young man? How you doing, young man?
Did Gavin run in his room?
No.
No.
And he goes, Mike. And he goes, Brown Mike. And that name has stuck to this day.
Yeah.
Brown Mike.
Brown Mike.
So anytime that Mike comes in the neighborhood, the kids know him. They all they flock out of their house and they yell at the top of their lungs, hey, Brown Mike. Mike is known as Brown Mike.
Is he big and tall like Shaq is?
He's a
too?
big boy. Let me tell you.
Like almost as big as Shaq?
Well, he's not as tall as Shaq.
Yeah.
But he's a very solidly built big guy.
You're going to know his presence.
Yeah, you're going to know when Mighty Mike is around.
I would feel safer if he was around,
Yeah.
like if I'm dining in a restaurant or something. You know how some people, when they go in restaurants, some can never sit with their back to the door.
Yeah.
Some people have to face forward and, perhaps they could sit any way they want if Mighty Mike was in there.
Yeah. So
Henceforward,
I had applied for a couple of years later. 8 years ago, I applied for the announce job at the stadium.
Yeah.
And I talked to Mike and asked Mike if he'd, be my backup announcer.
Did he come and do it for a while?
To find out, him and I walk in together to talk to the GM, Paul Taglieri, and Paul looks at Mike and he goes, hey, Mike, what's up? And I'm like, y'all know each other?
Small world. Yeah.
Mike was the PA announcer at the stadium way back when it was Thomas J, whatever the name of the stadium was.
Wow.
Back in the late 90s.
That was probably when Port St. Lucie Boulevard was a 2-lane. And it was all woods around there.
So that was kind of like a shoo-in. That it was
Wow.
a win-win for everybody.
That's pretty cool.
So to this day, he still does some work up at Clover Park with me, whether he's running the sound or announcing or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
I did some announcing for sports too back in my heyday. It was actually at the stock car races
Okay.
up in Rib Mountain, Wausau, Wisconsin.
The only thing is, though, when Mike comes over to the house, I
Yeah.
have to make sure and have diet cream soda.
Diet cream.
Yeah, he loves
like a maybe what's the cream soda? Cream soda maybe is just what it's
mugs.
called.
It's mugs.
I remember that.
It's mugs. Diet cream soda, and I have to make sure and put the dog up because the dog does not like Mike.
No.
And
Doesn't
Mike does
Mike-
not like the dog.
Does Mike have a dog of his own?
No.
No.
Mike lives
maybe-
alone up in Sebastian.
Yeah, and maybe a dog can sense that he's alone, and I don't know if he likes dogs or
Yeah,
not.
we
I
have
mean,
to find Mike a girlfriend.
sometimes they can sense that.
I've got to find him a girlfriend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I need to hook him up.
Do you think he needs help in that department?
No,
though?
he doesn't, but I want to help.
Yeah.
I just want to assist.
Maybe he can come in and visit us at the studio one day, and everybody can see his nice face on our Facebook.
That would be great. It would be
Yeah.
hilarious having him in here. He'd have to spend the night at my house, though, because he lives in
Right.
Sebastian.
Right.
A woman wanted to surprise her husband recently after being pregnant. So she played a game of 2 truths and a lie. She filmed it on her phone, and you get to see the man's face as he reacts. But unfortunately, it's video, so you can't see the facial reaction, but you'll be able to hear it.
2 truths or a lie. You have to guess which one's the lie. So, number 1, I always wanted to be an actor. Number 2, Huskies are my favorite dog breed. Or number 3, I'm pregnant.
His eyes get real big here. Super
I know
big.
Huskies are not your favorite dog breed. So does that mean you're pregnant?
She shakes her head yes, and he starts crying.
Isn't that touching?
And they hug
He just
and
cries.
kiss. Yeah.
That's nice. They're a very good looking couple too, Evan.
Yeah.
I saw her this morning and she's like naturally
Is she outside? Did you see her outside?
on the video
Oh,
I did.
okay.
She's just like naturally beautiful without her makeup and long blonde hair. She has that natural look about
Okay.
her. I thought she was very attractive.
All right. So here's another one of these videos where I'm going to have you guess the sound, Bonnie.
Okay.
Okay, listen in. And no, that's not me releasing flatulence.
Or
Okay.
the sound of somebody finding out they're not going back to work and they're still going to be quarantined.
No, let me play it one more time.
Okay. Or
what-
somebody not getting through to the unemployment
All right,
line.
I'm gonna give you not getting through the unemployment line.
Yeah, the sound you might make, like,
Okay.
oh.
All right, so I'm
Throw the
gonna
phone.
give you three choices.
Okay.
Is it A, two girls sit on a whoopee cushion during their mom's Zoom meeting, or B, a kid releases a squealing balloon in a library, or C, a man plays a kazoo while in the audience at an opera? Which one do you think it is?
The kid releasing the balloon in the library might be.
And
Oh.
correct, that's it. Got that one right.
Yeah, some of these are rather hard, you know. Oftentimes, this
Yeah.
is multiple choice, but I've gotten it wrong the last couple of weeks.
Here's something that happened about a month ago in Colorado, but the video is now making the rounds. It's a Nest camera filming the frightening progression of a house fire that starts when the curtains billow over a lit candle. Now, there's an elderly man alone in the room, and according to the Post, he suffers from severe dementia. He barely notices as the fire spreads, but he's rescued in time by a woman who comes in to get her purse. There was a birthday party earlier, and you can hear people in another part of the house after they find out what's happening. They come in with buckets of water, but it's too late. Fortunately, everyone got out, but the house just was a loss. Let's listen.
Fire! 911! Fire! Oh my God!
No.
Get him out. Here, with the walker. Where's Walker? Walker. The candle on the.
What the hell happened?
The candle. You have a. Get in there.
Where's the water? We need more up on top. Outside, you guys outside. Everyone get out of the house!
Yeah.
That was an eerie scene. So this guy with dementia is sitting there in his chair, like he's alone in that room.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know if he even knows where he is. And then this red curtain to the side is just kind of like blowing in the wind next to the lit candles.
Yep.
And then fire goes up, and wow, that's just like an alarming, awful looking scene, like something out of The Exorcist or something.
Out of The Exorcist.
Yeah, it's like a scary movie scene. Really, it's haunting.
Okay.
But and then you said they were having a birthday party at this place. It looks, apparently it must be a pretty big house.
Yeah, well, there was
They
probably
left
a
the
lot of
candles
a lot of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of that going on.
Man, I try never to leave home with a candle burning. You know, I did it one time. It was like last year, summer. It was really hot. I went to get pool supplies.
Mhm.
I'm at the pool supply store, and it dawns on me, I left 2 candles burning. Boy, did I just bought those supplies fast and drove home. Because
Is there a rooster here?
I don't know.
Did you hear that?
If there is, I hope it's not pecking at my legs or pecking at my feet.
I don't know, but man, there's all sorts of farm animals here all of a sudden. I don't know what the heck's going on.
I think they all just kind of like want to wake up.
I have no idea. There's all these farm animals, you know.
That one sounded like a mother duck, right?
Wow.
Oh,
What is going on? All these animals are in the other room.
I know.
It's like a pigsty around here.
It sounds cheerful too, though. It's kind of like
Pigs are cheerful?
It is.
I don't know about you. but-
It's cheering me up. It's like they're perking me up in the morning. You know, just
Okay.
like that rooster crowing every morning.
Okay.
I like it, Evan.
6:45 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news. Let's go to the news desk.
Thank you, Evan. President Trump visiting Palm Beach County and makes environmental news while at the Jupiter Inlet Lighthouse with Governor Ron DeSantis and members of Congress yesterday. The president signed an order that extends the moratorium on offshore drilling.
And I will now sign this order. It's an order that does so much for the state of Florida. It's an order that I'm so proud to sign.
Trump says the order expands the moratorium from the Gulf Coast of Florida to the Atlantic coast of Florida, as well as Georgia and South Carolina. A Port St. Lucie therapist is accused of using hypnosis to sexually abuse a teenager. Robert Medina, 69, was arrested last week on one count of unlawful sexual battery to a minor. Port St. Lucie police spokeswoman Lisa Marie Carrasquillo said a 17-year-old boy told police he he was molested by Medina when the teen went to Medina's business, Healing Counseling Incorporated. The therapist used a hypnosis method and sexually battered the victim, Carrasquillo said. According to an arrest affidavit, the teen told police he had recently broken up with his girlfriend and wanted to talk to a therapist, so he found Medina while searching the internet and scheduled an appointment. During the September 1st therapy session, Medina had the teen repeat a mantra over and over as the therapist massaged his feet and lower legs below the knees. When the teen returned for another session the next day, Medina had him remove all his clothes except his underwear, the report said. Medina then took the teen into his bedroom and had him lie down on the bed with a pillow under his chest and legs before hypnotizing him, the report said. When the teen woke up, he didn't feel well and called 911. He then went to Lawnwood Regional Medical Center to be treated. According to the report, Medina denied the allegations. Online records show that Medina was being held without bond at the St. Lucie County Jail. A man was struck and killed by a train in Stuart Tuesday night, according to police in Stuart. Railroad crossings are closed from the Roosevelt Bridge south to Monterey Road. Crossings from Monterey Road south are open, police said. The crossings will remain closed for an extended period of time while investigators work the scene. No more information was immediately available. Florida health officials are adding the lowest number of COVID-19 cases to the state's total in nearly 3 months.
The announcement increases the statewide total by 1,823 cases, which is the lowest single-day total since mid-June. The new infections bring Florida's overall case count to more than 650,000. There are 44 more deaths related to coronavirus complications, with the state's virus-related death toll up to more than 11,900 residents. I'm Rick Hoschel.
And lastly, mop-up operations are underway in Brevard County. That after an explosion and large fire at the Farr Chemical Company in Palm Bay yesterday morning.
Apparently what happened was there was a refrigeration issue, which started the fire. That caught some barrels of solvent on fire.
A fire department spokesman says they used foam to smother the flames and contain the chemical fumes. Nobody was hurt and only the plant had to be evacuated. The NFL season begins tomorrow, and there's some good news out of the latest round of league-wide testing. The NFL and NFL Players Association announced that last week, August 30th through September 5th, only one of 2,641 players tested positive for COVID-19. And NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell is willing to roll with the punches. He says the league is prepared to play fewer than 16 games if that's what it comes to. News time is 6:49. Weather and traffic together will be next.
$6:50 the time right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
So you say you got to be there by 7:30. You should arrive on time. And the traffic's looking fine. We don't have any slowdowns or tie-ups on our roadways, both for Martin and St. Lucie County. There's your latest look at traffic. It's partly cloudy in Port St. Lucie. It's 74. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid-70s under partly cloudy skies and scattered rainfall possible for that morning commute. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s, feels like temperatures in the upper 90s, a mix of sun and clouds, and a 60% chance for afternoon to evening showers and storms. Tonight, lows in the mid-70s under partly cloudy skies and some isolated showers drifting in from off the ocean. Will stay unsettled over the next few days. Then by early next week, slightly drier air moves on in, helping to drop those rain chances. Highs over the next 7 days in the upper 80s to low 90s. Overnight lows in the mid to upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
Say you love me again. Yeah, I thought it wouldn't be bad, but now you were so sad and walked out of my life. Undo this smell that's lingering all night.
6:56 on the Get Up and Go show. That one's called Unrip My Fart. Right? Like
How do you unrip something?
I don't know. Unrip my fart.
I mean, I know
That's
how
a
to
parody song.
I know how to rip and tear things quite easily.
Oh, I
And
thought you were going to say, I know how to rip a fart. That's what I thought you were going to bust out with.
well, the sound I was going to make was this ripping and tearing sound.
That sounds like somebody breaking wind.
You can hear rip it easy, but
Okay.
I don't know how to unrip it and undo that, Evan.
Super glue.
I
Super
guess so. You have an answer for everything.
Well, I try. That's why I'm still witty at 60 years old. Anyway,
You're all witted.
I'm all witted. I had my tea and crumpets this morning. Hey, coming up Friday. Friday's September 11th. It's a day that we step back and reflect on the day's events that happened many years ago. We have two very, very special guests that are going to be on the program. Worked very hard to get one of them. The other one is a personal friend of mine. Colonel Mark Tillman is going to be here on Friday. He was the pilot of Air Force One on September 11th when George W. Bush was plucked out of the classroom where the 2-year-olds were, the second graders were, that he was reading a book to over in Sarasota, Florida. Colonel Tillman was responsible for keeping the president safe and flying the plane and just making sure the president was safe while America was under attack. And then my other special guest that's going to be joining us is the former chief of staff under the President George W. Bush regime. Andrew Card is going to be here. He is a gentleman that had the undaunting task of walking into that second grade classroom and uttering those 11 words into former President George W. Bush's ears when he was sitting there reading that book on that fateful day of September 11th. So I'm looking forward to both those interviews. It's going to be riveting radio. You definitely want to make sure and tune in. And those interviews are going to happen right at 8:30 in the morning, just a few minutes before the actual first plane plowed into the Twin Towers.
Wow, that's going to give me goosebumps right there.
Yeah.
Both historical events and, when the president was in Sarasota in that classroom, and it'll take you right back to that very day. And to find out what was going on in the minds of these two important people you're going to be interviewing, Evan.
It's going to be great. I'm really super, super excited. I usually have Colonel Tillman on wherever I am every single year, but to get former Chief of Staff Andrew Card, that's almost as high as getting the President of the United States.
Yeah, it's very important. It's going to be very serious stuff, and this is going to air on Friday, by the way.
Yeah, Friday. We're going to have them on Friday at 8:30 in place of Randy Siegel's space report. So make sure and tune in. That's a programming note for you. We're WSTU Stewart. We're Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next, and then hour number 2 of the award-winning, internationally known Get Up and Go show. We'll be right back.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world. It's the Get Up and Go Show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcast live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
It's Wonderful Weirdos Day.
Suit up, it might get weird.
That's super weird.
They're weird that way.
The weird ones.
So weird.
Weird ever stopped us before.
That's weird.
This weird, beastly presentation.
Wonderful Weirdos Day today.
Whoa. Weird.
Yeah, it's Weirdo Day today.
I guess a Wonderful Weirdos Wednesday, right?
Yeah, Wonderful Weirdos Wednesday, without a doubt.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Evan, I don't know if we look weird, but do you think both of us look a little bit nerdy, but kind of cool?
No,
we both
definitely
have
don't look nerdy.
our brown glasses,
Yeah.
our brown glasses
No,
that we
don't,
wear.
We don't look weird.
I know that's right.
Yeah, we're not weird.
I heard that.
Not nerdy either.
No, not at all.
That's a
Not
good
at
thing.
all. Not nerdy at all.
I heard that.
Thank you very much. Anyway, hour number 2 of the internationally acclaimed. We can now say that we are an international radio program. We are heard over in England. People are listening to us in England, and we have a phone call this morning. Let's see who's on the line. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Lollipop Louie.
Oh, Lollipop Louie on a weird Wednesday.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Okay. Good
Yeah,
morning,
you know,
weirdo. I mean Lollipop Louie.
You know, I get paid to solve people's problems, and I'm trying to find this cat.
Okay.
This cat's worth $1 million.
Really?
And I heard the cat call yesterday.
Okay.
And he's owned by Alfredo Sauce. What kind of last name is Sauce?
I don't know. I don't know, sir. I have no idea.
We get his last name confused because maybe he's on the sauce all day.
Very funny. That's not the cat. You know that.
Okay, well, that's our cat here in the studio.
Yeah,
And then what cat is that?
Well, I don't know. We have a guard dog here, too.
Yeah, I don't like dogs. Last time I called, I had a dog try to bite me.
Okay.
That wasn't fun.
Okay.
But I'm at one of these Fredo Sauce's warehouses right now. I'm in the back and trying to get in to find this cat.
Okay.
But there's a duck. Why is there a duck?
A duck?
Why is there a duck?
Oh, you have a duck. We have ducks. We have ducks here, too.
We have a mama duck with the baby ducks.
Yeah, we have ducks also.
A lot of farm animals.
Yeah.
It's like a zoo.
You know, we have a rooster also here. Yeah, we have a rooster that's here. Yeah.
If you find
duck.
Fredo, tell him I want some Alfredo sauce because I'm craving spaghetti.
Oh God, he's pecking my eye out. Ow. Oh God. Oh, he's pecking my eye out.
All right, well, there goes Lollipop Louie.
He better pick up his eyeball and insert it back right in there.
Definitely so. It's time for birthdays, anniversaries, and back in the day. Bonnie, what do you have?
Well, a lot of birthdays coming up in October for me, so I better start buying some gifts, which I've been kind of getting behind on. I try to get those gifts ahead of time, so I don't have to do it all in 1 week.
All right.
But I got Gary with a birthday, my stepdaughter with a birthday in October.
You know whose birthday it is today?
I do not.
It's Fredo's birthday.
It is, really?
Yeah, Fredo's celebrating his birthday today.
September 9th
I
for
got
Fredo?
a hold of his driver's license, and I saw that it said September 9th on there.
Yeah?
That he was born.
And did he have a good-looking picture on his driver's license?
No, it looked like a mugshot.
Just a regular mugshot, huh?
Regular mugshot.
Well, happy birthday,
Like
Fredo. Where
most driver's licenses are.
maybe he's going to the beach today or something.
Maybe he's going to go to Blind Creek Beach and have somebody blow out his candle on his birthday
I
cake.
just hope he doesn't leave the candle at home burning like we had that one viral video story earlier.
Definitely not.
That was atrocious.
Hunter Hayes, country music artist, 29 years old today. Kelsey Asbiel, 29 also. It's Monica Dutton, Kevin Costner's daughter-in-law on Yellowstone.
I've been wanting to see that. Yellowstone, I guess it's a Western with Kevin Costner, and I loved him playing Hatfield and Hatfields and McCoys.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to check out this Western with him.
Haley Reinhart, 30 years old today. That's the American Idol beauty who sometimes sings Postmodern Jukebox, her biggest hit. Solo was free, and she sings My Baby Just Cares for Me on Jeff Goldblum's jazz album.
Oh, wow.
Julie Gonzalo is 39 years old. That's Rebecca Barnes-Ewing on Dallas. Michelle Williams, 40 years old today. That's Glinda in Oz the Great and Powerful. Michael Bublé. A lot of people say his name Bubble.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
When you see it, that's what you're seeing at first. But yeah,
But
Bublé.
the accent is over the E, so you should say Bublé.
How old is
Michael
he
Bublé
today?
is 45 years old today.
Yeah, he's had some tragedy. They had a young son, Noah, that in like 2016, they found the boy had liver cancer.
Oh, wow.
But fortunately, he's been under some treatments and has been in remission. Yeah, they had a very sick son for a while.
Gotcha. I want to say good morning to Jennifer. She's watching us on our Facebook page. Good morning to you, Jen.
Morning.
Eric Stone Street, 49 years old today. That's Cameron on Modern Family. I love Eric Stone Street. He's a great actor.
Do you?
Yeah. Henry Thomas, 49 years old today. That's Elliot.
I can't believe he's 49
Yeah.
from E.T., right?
Yeah, Elliot from E.T.,
Yeah.
49 years old today.
All those kids all grown up
Yeah.
and still eating Reese's Pieces, I'm sure.
Yes. And the Hanukkah man himself. You know who that is, right?
Oh, Adam, right?
Yeah, Adam Sandler,
Oh,
54 years old today. He has a home down in Parkland, Florida. He resides in Parkland, Florida.
Is he in Parkland, Florida?
Yes, I've been to his home before. I know exactly where he lives.
Oh, we just saw a great movie with him last night. What was it? They had a bunch of known comedians in the movie. Rob Schneider was in it.
Okay.
So was David Spade.
Okay.
Kevin James from The King of Queens. They had Adam Sandler. It was about a group of boys. They grew up playing basketball, and then their coach dies.
Oh.
So they all come together for like a reunion.
Okay.
And it really some funny stuff.
Hugh Grant is 60 years old today. Angela Cartwright, 68. That's Penny Robinson on the original Lost in Space. Dave Stewart from the Eurythmics, 68 years old today. Some of the big hits he was involved with are Sweet Dreams, Here Comes the Rain Again, and Would I Lie to You.
Yeah, and with Annie Lennox, one of the greatest female voices of all time.
Former Washington Redskin great Joe Theismann, 71 years old today. Great football player. Dave Ingalls, 75, from Iron Butterfly. He was the lead singer. Topol, 85 years old today. He is the Fiddler on the Roof. And Dr. Hans Zarkov in Flash Gordon. Wow. Very interesting. You ever seen
Hans.
Fiddler on the Roof?
Fiddler, I haven't.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. Really, really good movie.
Is it like, what year did that one come out?
Long time ago.
I've got to watch it. I know it's one of those vintage classics, which I've just never seen.
Yep.
But
really
it's
good movie.
good. I'm going to look it up today.
Billy Preston celebrating a birthday in the heavens. Some of Billy Preston's hits, Get Back and Don't Let Me Down. He even sang Get Back in the horrible Sgt. Pepper movie starring the Bee Gees.
Did he do Will It Go Round in Circles
Yes,
too, I think?
sure did.
Will It Go Round
Yeah.
in a Circle? Yeah.
Uh-huh. Otis Redding celebrating a birthday in the heavens. Sitting on the Dock of the Bay was Otis's big hit. He was only 26 when he passed away.
Yeah, I don't think he saw his hit go big yet either. He did Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, died at 26, and then the hit became huge, and he didn't live to see it.
Yep. The Colonel himself, and I'm not talking about my father, but Colonel Sanders, celebrating a birthday in the heavens. He died at 90 years old today.
90
years old today. Passed away in 1980.
Oh. In 1980 he did? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was born in 1890.
He lived a really long, solid life
Yeah,
then.
he would have been 110 years old.
Wow. My grandma lived to be 98.
He'd be, more than that. Wow. No, he'd be, God, I'm doing the math wrong.
Okay, maybe
80, 90, 0, 10, 20. So that's 40 and 90. He'd be 130 years old today.
Wow.
That'd be a pretty darn good chicken wing.
Yeah.
That old, 130 years old.
Yeah.
Neil Hamilton, Commissioner Gordon on the 1960s Batman series. Commissioner Gordon, man, he died at the age of, let me see here. He was born in 1899, 1984. So he died at the age of 83 years old today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Today is International Sudoku Day. Sudoku Day.
Is that
That's that game. you
the
play.
game? I thought it was
It's like
the
a
game.
crossword puzzle.
Yeah. Is it like Boggle or something that you play? Boggle, Sudoku,
I don't know.
Jumanji.
I've seen it in the papers all
Yeah.
over the place.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's where I've seen it before.
It's 10 days until Talk Like a Pirate Day. Aye, matey. So in 10 days, we have to do the whole broadcast sounding like a pirate.
Yeah, I miss those pirates festivals, man. I mean,
Did you dress up?
no,
Pirate girl? Were you a little pirate girl?
no, but I want to. I like to go and I like to kind of go out there and not do the dressing up, but watch the other pirates.
Okay.
I want to go to a Renaissance festival too.
Oh, okay.
I've always kind of wanted to do that, where you see the people in the flashy gowns and dressing of the Renaissance days. I heard there's like a pretty good one over in the Clearwater area.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the Tampa Bay area.
All right. 29 years ago today in 1991, Mike Tyson was indicted on rape charges.
1981 today.
Yeah, 1991. Bobby.
91. Did you see him in the bottom of the ocean with all those sharks?
Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
lately? He kind of impressed me. He got down there.
28 years ago in 1992, at MTV's 9th Annual Video Music Awards, Van Halen's Right Now won Best Video during the show. Elton John sang The One and then later joined Guns N' Roses on November Rain.
I want Right Now played at my funeral.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a powerful song, and I don't know if I'm going to get cremated or not, but if like they were,
well, you're not going to hear the song.
If they were like lowering my casket,
right?
I want Right Now playing and really loud.
Well, that's because it's being lowered right now.
Because it's right here and now.
Right here and now.
Yeah, and wherever you go, there you are.
23 years ago today in 97, Burgess Meredith passed away of Alzheimer's at the age of 88. Do you know who Burgess Meredith was?
Yes, Mickey, right? Oh, Mickey and Rocky.
Right. And he
love
also
him.
was the Penguin on Batman.
He was.
Yes, he played the Penguin.
Yeah, he was so good.
Yeah.
And I definitely loved him in the Rocky films. He also was the voice behind The Exorcist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely yes. So 17 years ago today, in 2003, John Mayer released the second album that he had, Heavier Things, featuring Daughters Clarity and Bigger Than My Body. 8 years ago in 2012, Ryan Reynolds married Gossip Girl Blake Lively. They have 3 kids together. And 2 years ago,
she's so pretty.
In 2018, Les Moonves, am I saying that right? I'm not sure.
Les Moonves.
Les Moonves
Yeah.
stepped down as the head of CBS after being targeted by sexual harassment allegations.
Yeah, he's married to like Julie Chen, and I always liked her on The Talk, but
Yeah.
during all that process too, she stepped down and got out of that. Out of yeah, it's the Talk afternoon show. But yeah, I haven't seen her in a long time, and I haven't heard anything more on Les Moonves. But what year was that? Was just like a few 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
It was just simply 2 years
yeah,
ago
I kind of thought so.
is the one that happened. Coming up on 7:20 right now on the Get Up and Go show. Let's head over to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. Florida health officials are adding the lowest number of COVID-19 cases to the state's total in nearly 3 months.
The announcement increases the statewide total by 1,823 cases, which is the lowest single-day total since mid-June. The new infections bring Florida's overall case count to more than 650,000. There are 44 more deaths related to coronavirus complications, with the state's virus-related death toll up to more than 11,900 residents. I'm Rick Hoschel.
Nurses are still keeping families out from visiting loved ones in long-term living facilities 1 week after Governor DeSantis signed an order ending the 6-month lockdown. WPTV's Katie Lagrone has more.
They're not letting us in. 1 week later, and they're not letting us in.
Mary Daniel is on a mission to reunite other families.
And I'm telling them, do not let them get away with this. You cannot let them just manipulate you so that they're not going to follow the governor's orders.
Daniel first made headlines months ago when she took a job as a dishwasher just to see her husband in his facility. But 1 week after Florida's governor signed an order ending the 6-month lockdown on Florida nursing homes and assisted living facilities, thousands of family members desperate to get in are reporting they're still being kept out.
It feels like I'm being punished.
Frustrated, disappointed, anxious.
I don't know if I'll see her alive before this all gets resolved.
What we're getting is no. No, we're not doing that. No, you're going to have to be 6 feet apart. No, that's not what the rule says. I mean, they're telling us that we don't know what the rules are, what the guidelines are.
While the state's order limits visitation and rules if you're a compassionate caregiver, essential caregiver, or general visitor, Daniel, a member of the governor's task force that helped develop them, says she's getting so many calls and messages. She recently posted this video on Facebook explaining to families how to fight back.
It's incredibly important that we know more than they know.
Daniel asking families to fill out a survey she created on what they're being told. The results she plans to share with the governor and the state's Agency for Healthcare Administration, which oversees group homes. In a call with facilities last week, its boss recognized time needed to coordinate visiting plans, but warned not to take too much of it.
The expectation is that you are moving forward with a sense of urgency to allow visitation.
In an email, a spokesperson with Florida's Healthcare Association stated members are working towards opening, but visitation shuts down if a facility has one case of COVID in the building. So it's important all the steps are in place to ensure the safety of residents. These daughters just want to see their mom again.
Now I'm just more angry about it.
This woman hug her older sister.
Hug will say to her, she's there again.
And countless others who after 6 months can't take another minute being told to stay away.
There's no reason in the world that people should not be in by the end of this week. There's no reason in the world.
Loved ones should read the governor's final order and the 14-page task force report. That way, if you're turned away for a reason cited incorrectly, you can point that out to the facility. We've posted it all on our website. Katie LeGrone, WPTV News, Channel 5.
Indian River County is providing free protective gear to small businesses. WPTV's John Shaman has more.
At Minuteman Press in Vero Beach.
This is just coming off the digital printer now.
The presses haven't stopped, but the coronavirus has certainly slowed them down.
Normally we have an operator running our cutter all day long.
Lisa Jen says business dropped off dramatically back in March, and they're still down 30 to 40%. They make their own masks, but learned that Indian River County has started offering free personal protective equipment for small businesses.
It's nice that the county's offering it to us too, because then that's an added expense we don't have to have out of our pocket.
I have 2 boxes of civilian masks.
Through CARES Act funds, the county's put together more than 1,000 of these PPE kits that include disposable and cloth masks, disinfectant wipes, and hand sanitizer, along with a sign reminding people to avoid the 3 C's to help businesses.
Hopefully help them stay open, and keep their staff safe and their, customers safe.
Even though Indian River County does not have a mask mandate, it wanted to be proactive.
Nobody wants to take a step backwards.
Janice Ramirez says her business, Mr. Restore, has her employees in other people's homes all the time.
Because that's what we do, restoration after a flood or fire or mold. So having that, it just helps us a little bit.
If you're an interested business owner, you can come here to the Intergenerational Rec Center off Oslo Road any day between 7:30 a.m. until 6 p.m. In Indian River County, John Shaman, WPTV. News Channel 5.
And lastly, a man was struck and killed by a train in Stewart on Tuesday night. According to Stewart police, railroad crossings are closed from the Roosevelt Bridge south to Monterey Road. Crossings from Monterey Road south are open, police said. The crossings will remain closed for an extended period of time while investigators work the scene. No more information was immediately available. Jimmy Butler and Goran Dragic each scored 17 points apiece as the Heat finished off the Milwaukee Bucks 103-94 in Game 5 in the NBA's Orlando bubble. Miami moves on to the Eastern Conference Finals and will face either Boston or Toronto. The Celtics lead that series 3-2. Our news time, 7:25. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
7:26 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. All brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
The roads have been quiet this morning, and we're not finding any accidents to report. This includes Stewart and the Palm City area. It includes Port St. Lucie on the way up to Fort Pierce. No accidents, no tie-ups on the roads. There's your latest look at traffic. Stewart, we have a clear sky and 77 right now. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid-70s under partly cloudy skies and scattered rainfall possible for that morning commute. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s, feels like temperatures in the upper 90s, a mix of sun and clouds and a 60% chance for afternoon to evening showers and storms. Tonight, lows in the mid-70s under partly cloudy skies and some isolated showers drifting in from off the ocean. We'll stay unsettled over the next few days. Then by early next week, slightly drier air moves on in, helping to drop those rain chances. Highs over the next 7 days in the upper 80s to low 90s. Overnight lows in the mid to upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, 1850 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
Ugh, those pesky COVID masks. You hate wearing them for hours at a time, and you can't eat while you have them on. Until now. Introducing the Old El Fachi Tortilla COVID mask. It's not your ordinary mask. They not only protect you from catching the virus, they're delicious. Made with enriched flour, vegetable shortening, and hydrochloroquinated soybean oil. Just add your choice of meat, cheese, and salsa before you put it on, and you're ready to eat and stay safe. Because you want a quesadilla, not a case of coronavirus. Old El Fachi Tortilla COVID masks. And coming soon, fruit roll-up COVID masks for kids.
Fruit roll-up COVID mask for kids. I like that one.
I like it, and I don't know, but the meat and cheese and the quesadilla mask was making me hungry already.
Man, you only live once. Why not? Just kind of go for the gusto. Let's do a little stupid news.
And now it's time for Stupid News,
It's so stupid and awesome.
where we ask the important questions.
Are some people too stupid to live?
Why are people so stupid?
Are you effing stupid?
Oh, before we go to stupid news, we have a phone call. So let's, of course, take our phone call. Hi, you're on the air with Evan and Bonnie.
Yeah, man, it's my birthday. Yeah,
It's Fredo.
yeah, let's celebrate, baby.
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
Fredo.
Thank you, man.
How
Thank
old?
you, little well.
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 21 still. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, man.
You don't look a day over.
Yeah. Oh, I know that, baby.
You're
Yeah.
21?
Yeah, man. Still
Okay.
21. Yeah, man.
Well, can I play something for you for your birthday?
Absolutely. Hold on. Let me get away from the music. Oh, thank you.
That's your band, by the way, playing in the
Yes,
background.
I know.
That's
I know.
the Shy Guys band.
They were here all night and they had to come to work this morning.
Yeah,
So,
I brought them in
man.
especially for you because I wanted to play that for you.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Hey, Bentley, put down that drink. You've had too much already. What's wrong, you
Jeez.
Bentley? Good
What?
Lord.
Bentley drinks?
Yeah,
No,
Bentley
Bentley.
indulges. Yes, he does.
I can't even picture that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, just put down that drink. Look, you should get him out here. Just get him out here.
wow.
Yeah.
You know, I see a new side of Bentley now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never
Little
saw this
party
side.
animal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
All right. So what are you doing for your birthday real quick?
Well, I'm doing it right now. It's an all-day party. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
man.
They're playing. They got sounds like they got a DJ over there.
Yeah, you weren't available, so I got some other guy.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
well, you know you don't have the best unless you get me.
Well, this is true, but I do have my own DJ service. You know that, right?
No, another
Yeah,
business.
mobile DJ service. Yeah, man. But I'll talk about that some other time.
Yeah.
man.
Well, you can't talk about that on my show because now that's a non-compete clause.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you say so.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
Bonnie,
what-
why aren't you here, Bonnie? Come on, Bonnie. You need to get over here. Just ditch that man and come on over to the party.
because
yeah,
you
man.
were probably up all night partying, and I don't think you're going to be staying up very much later.
I
get
have,
a
I have natty ice sparkling waters. Yeah, man.
what's the DJ playing right now?
Oh, he's playing Celebration. Yeah, man.
Oh, there it is.
kind of makes you
Wow.
want to party kind of early, doesn't
Wow,
it?
they're having a good time over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
And Natty Ice, that might get my hiney over there.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I got plenty of it, baby. All on ice just for you. You get on over here now.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, Fredo, you enjoy your birthday and have a piece of cake for us and have a nice cold beverage for me because I don't drink.
Yeah. Hey, Big Kitty. Come here, Big Kitty. Come here. Yeah, I'll pet the kitty. Yeah. You
Is
like
Big
that,
Kitty having a
don't
drink
you?
too?
What's Big Kitty drinking?
Well, what you got what do you got over here, baby? Oh, she got some milk with some Bailey's in it. Yeah, Bailey's.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bailey's and milk.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, we thought it would be something creamy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Very good.
Yeah, man.
Wow. There he goes. All right. All right, Fredo. Well, thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Talk to you later.
Happy birthday, Fredo. Well, there's
Happy
Fredo having his
birthday.
birthday.
Sounds like a party house
Okay.
over there.
Let's get back to our stupid news. A 58-year-old man was arrested after deputies reported finding nearly a pound of cocaine in his truck and more cocaine on top of a stack of bacon, Record State. Clifford Eugene Tyndale of Fort Pierce, Florida, was arrested Wednesday on 2 felony counts of cocaine trafficking, according to the affidavits. One of the affidavits is heavily redacted, but states that about 7 p.m. on Wednesday of last week, Tyndale was in the driver's seat of a 2018 GMC pickup. The address where the incident occurred was not clear. He was spotted putting something in the back seat. In the back seat, deputies reported finding a bag containing 3 bags of almost a pound of cocaine. Investigators shortly before 9 p.m. Wednesday, they executed a search warrant at one of Tyndale's listed addresses. In the home, directly on top of a stack of bacon, investigators found more than an ounce of cocaine in a bag. The affidavit states Tyndale was arrested on $70,000 bond Thursday from the St. Lucie County Jail.
Right. Maybe they took the cocaine and fried up the bacon.
I don't know. But note to self, never put your cocaine on your bacon because you know what? You'll be making bacon.
I guess so.
Yes.
Have you ever held a bag of cocaine?
Now, Bonnie, why would you ask me that?
I don't know.
I just hold one every week.
Well, this guy just had a whole bag of it that they found. And don't you think it would be squeezably soft?
Let me go home and let me go home and
Like
walk in
Charmin.
my front door and hold a bag of cocaine for my wife. See what she says. Okay.
I'm
I'm just going to pretend you didn't say that.
Okay.
All right. A unique job advertisement has been posted online seeking a removal driver comfortable with carrying out a move without any clothes on. So they're looking for somebody to move a bunch of stuff naked. A naturist couple are on the hunt for somebody to help them move house in the nude. The worker will be paid $2,000 for their help with the move, which should be taking place sometime later this month. The eyebrow raising request was posted to a delivery, removal, and transport marketplace online. However, after the site was unable to process the request due to the nature of the job, it offered to assist the couple personally in finding a appropriate candidate. So my question is, for $2,000, would you help somebody move naked?
You're actually asking me that one
No,
now?
I'm not asking you. I'm asking the listening audience.
Oh, I thought
Now,
you were
I'm
asking me.
No, I'm looking straight ahead. Now, when I ask you a question, I would say, so Bonnie, would you? But I didn't say, so Bonnie. All I did was say, would you, listening, if you're out there listening, would you help somebody move for $2,000 naked if they're a naturist?
I'm glad that you're not asking me that one.
No, because I know what the answer would be. Be a big fat NO.
It would be.
Yeah.
It would be. But, like I heard, like people hired nude maids,
Yeah.
to come over and
all the time
clean the house in
All
the
the time.
nude. And
Yeah.
I'm sure
I had
there's
somebody
like,
do that.
there's probably like a bigger demand for them with the
Okay.
quarantine and people working from
There
home.
is.
And
There's a very large demand.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought about doing that.
Have you really?
Yeah. I did it many years ago in my younger days.
You did?
Yeah, I had somebody come over. I did it on a dare.
Evan, you live wild.
I did it on a dare. This is back like before I met my wife.
Yeah.
I did it on a dare when I was living as a bachelor. One of my buddies said, "Why don't you call one of those nude maid services?" So I did.
Was that down in the city in Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, it was
of course?
down in Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it. And I was kind of like, wow, this is pretty cool. They come in and they, do their thing.
Yeah.
You can't touch, and they dust, and they bend over and pick things up.
Oh my
and
gosh.
oh yeah.
Were they like really pretty?
Yeah,
too?
they were good looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my. How much did you have to pay for something like that?
I
for
choose
like
not to disclose
1
that.
hour of cleaning.
It was between $100 and $200, and they were there for 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
$100 an hour.
It was between $100 and $200.
Man.
I'm not going to give an exact amount.
Yeah. That's living.
All right.
And was the place spotless?
When they were done,
because all that matters is was the cleaning all right?
Yeah.
Was your place clean?
Cleaning was great.
Good.
Cleaning was great. My tub got scrubbed. Everything.
Your tub got scrubbed.
Yeah, tub got
little
scrubbed.
scrubby, little
Yeah.
scrubby on the tubby.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Tub got scrubbed.
Wow.
Toilet got cleaned. Kitchen got done.
Sparkling.
Yep.
Just
Bed
like-
got made. Living room vacuumed, dusted.
Wow. I wonder if you can hire like a Mr. Clean. Like if you're a single girl and
Oh,
you're
you want a
lonely
guy to
and-
come? You want a guy to come over and clean naked?
Yeah, one that looks like Mr. Clean to come on over.
Bald headed, right? Built really good. I actually have a friend of mine that's like that. I can send him over if Gary goes away on vacation.
Oh.
I'll send him over to your house and let him clean for you.
We're probably giving Fredo an idea for a new business.
Yeah.
But would Fredo cut it?
Fredo's cleaning service. He'd have to shave his head. Let's go back to Fort Pierce, where a Fort Pierce cop was dispatched early Tuesday evening to the Lion's Den adult superstore on Okeechobee Boulevard, or is that road up there? I don't know. It's one of those two on Okeechobee in reference to a disturbance. Now, en route to the business, the dispatcher noted there was a female in the store wearing a purple shirt and had no pants on. Before the officer entered the Lion's Den, the worker explained to the officer at the front that the woman had removed a sex toy from the packaging and was now fully naked in a stock room using it on herself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
When the officer
Man.
proceeded to the rear of the store to the stock room, he found Teresa Stanley, 36 years old, sitting on the floor with her feet up in the air, utilizing the device.
We see that big billboard every time we go
Yep.
past there on 95 up there up north. They got a huge billboard for it
After
out
the
there.
officer appeared, and when she saw him, she stopped what she was doing and dropped the toy.
Wow.
And she was arrested, taken to the St. Louis County Jail, held on $1,500 bond for indecent exposure and theft.
Yeah. And
Now, why
that's-
would you walk into an adult bookstore and take a toy out of a package and use it on yourself right there?
know.
Can't you wait till you get home? For God's sakes,
I don't know.
have a little couth.
Yeah, you
Have
know,
some morals about yourself.
you never, you know what, you never can tell with people. Evan, we watched this show called Sex Brought Me to the ER. Have you ever seen that show?
Yeah, and I've seen some pretty hairy things.
Yeah.
Things getting stuck inside of people,
Yeah, real life stories.
putting things where they shouldn't go.
Well, there was a serious one where
Tell me about
a
it.
guy had to bring his girlfriend, or I think it was his wife, into
Okay.
the ER.
His significant other will say.
Yeah, because she was having the big O, Can you say that on
yeah,
the air?
Yeah, you can say orgasm. That's
Okay,
fine.
thank you.
You can say that. You're allowed.
But she
the
was
big O. I like the way you put that. What was she having? An Oreo cookie? People might think she's having an Oreo cookie. What kind of fetish does she have?
with some milk.
Yeah.
But yeah,
She was reaching her high point.
But she couldn't get rid of it. So she was.
So it just was continuous.
Yeah, she was having it
Wow,
over multiple for like maybe 4 hours and 6 hours.
That's a lot of screaming.
Yeah.
Wow, wake the kids up.
So like
You're lost for words.
But anyway, they did bring her into the ER,
And what'd they say?
I think they were somehow able to remedy that, but it was
okay.
But like I'm just
was something stuck? Was the switch stuck in the on position or what?
No, she was just
batteries overheat.
It was like a neurological problem with her orgasm, and it just wouldn't stop.
Do you realize that people would kill to have something like that? Seriously.
But there are some people that seriously know. Some people have the condition.
Okay.
And it's very rare. It's like a huge rarity.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
Okay.
It's even like we were talking on the air the other day, Evan, where some people, I saw it on a show where some weirdness going on where this guy couldn't feel pain. Like he couldn't feel any pain. Like if you took maybe a needle or you hit him with a hammer,
right?
He couldn't feel it.
I'm like that in certain parts of my body, and I'm being very serious.
You mentioned that.
Yeah, I could sit here and I can pull the hair like right now. I'm pulling the hair on my arm, and look, see that coming up like that? It does not hurt me at all.
That's hurting me just watching it.
All right,
I'm feeling
watch.
it.
See, I'm making you hurt. See that? Look,
is.
Nothing, no pain.
As you're doing it, I'm feeling it in my arm, feeling
I feel
squeamish.
no pain.
And you feel nothing.
I feel nothing at all.
That must be, I wonder if it has something to do with, did a doctor ever say maybe it has something to do with your nerve endings?
No, it's just numb. I don't feel nothing. See, nothing at all. Nothing.
Wow.
No pain, no gain.
That is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember in school in the choir class, the teacher got upset with a student. I think we were only like in 7th and 8th grade.
Okay.
And the teacher at the time had a young boy sit there through the entire hour, get this, and tap 2 fingers on his wrist.
Okay. It's like a doctor does. They do this.
But he had.
But see, nurses do that to get the vein going when they're doing blood.
Yeah.
They tie the tourniquet up on the bicep, and then they start tapping.
Maybe it did him some good, but not for the entire hour.
Okay.
And then when the hour was done, of course, his wrist was all
Tapping
red.
away.
Yeah.
Okay. I have one more stupid news story since we're talking about nakedness. A 61-year-old in Oklahoma City named Christopher Sale showed up at a Taco Bell drive-thru naked on Saturday this week.
Oh.
And he claimed it was because all of his clothes were in the wash. They ended up filling his order and hoped he'd just leave. Then he asked for one more taco. So they gave him one, but he still didn't leave. And after that, he asked for more hot sauce, then more napkins, and then he finally left. But then he came back through the drive-thru and asked for more sauce again.
Wow.
So the employees called the cops. He told police that all his clothes were in the laundry, but he was hungry. So he jumped in the car, and he also claimed he didn't know it was illegal to drive naked. He was arrested, but it's not clear what charges he's going to face.
Wow. He could have just worn his dirty clothes through the drive-thru. He's probably going to be, dropping drippings of all that sauce all over him anyway.
I guess he didn't want to stink. That's probably why he didn't wear his clothes.
Clothes already dirty.
Already dirty to the drive-thru. So there's your stupid news for a Wednesday. From stupid to real, we go to the real news desk where Bonnie's standing by with the headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning to you, Evan. Florida health officials are adding the lowest number of COVID-19 cases to the state's total in nearly 3 months.
The announcement increases the statewide total by 1,823 cases, which is the lowest single-day total since mid-June. The new infections bring Florida's overall case count to more than 650,000. There are 44 more deaths related to coronavirus complications, with the state's virus-related death toll up to more than 11,900 residents. I'm Rick Hoschel.
Mop-up operations are underway in Brevard County. That after an explosion and large fire at the Far Chemical Company in Palm Bay yesterday morning.
Apparently what happened was there was a refrigeration issue, which started the fire.
that caught some barrels of solvent on fire.
A fire department spokesman says they used foam to smother the flames and contain the chemical fumes. Nobody was hurt, and only the plant had to be evacuated. A Port St. Lucie therapist is accused of using hypnosis to sexually abuse a teenager. Robert Medina, of 69, was arrested last week on one count of unlawful sexual battery to a minor. Port St. Lucie police spokeswoman Lisa Marie Carrasquillo said that a 17-year-old boy told police he was molested by Medina when the teen went to Medina's Business Healing Counseling Incorporated. The therapist used a hypnosis method and sexually battered the victim, Carrasquillo said. According to an arrest affidavit, the teen told police he had recently broken up with his girlfriend and wanted to talk to a therapist. So he found Medina while searching the internet and scheduled an appointment. During the September 1 therapy session, Medina had the teen repeat a mantra over and over as the therapist massaged his feet and lower legs below the knees. When the teen returned for another session the next day, Medina had him remove all his clothes except his underwear, the report said. Medina then took the teen into his bedroom and had him lie down on a bed with a pillow under his chest and legs before hypnotizing him, the report said. When the teen woke up, he didn't feel well and called 911. He then went to Lawnwood Regional Medical Center to be treated. According to the report, Medina denied the allegations. Online records show that Medina was being held without bond at the St. Lucie County Jail. A man was struck and killed by a train in Stewart Tuesday night. According to Stewart Police, railroad crossings are closed from the Roosevelt Bridge south to Monterey Road. Crossings from Monterey Road south are open, police said. The crossings will remain closed for an extended period of time while investigators work the scene. No more information was immediately available. And lastly, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party and Candlelight Processional at Epcot will both be called off amid coronavirus concerns, according to Disney's park blog.
And this just into our newsroom, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party will not be happening this year at Walt Disney World because of the coronavirus pandemic. The Candlelight Processional at Epcot is also canceled. The Disney Parks blog says they'll be celebrating the holidays in different ways this year.
And now let's take a look at some baseball scores. The New York Yankees losing yesterday to the Blue Jays by 1 run, 2-1. We had double headers, including the Minnesota Twins beating the St. Louis Cardinals 7-3. And then the Cardinals come back to beat the Twins 6-4. The Boston Red Sox losing by a run to the Phillies 6-5. And then in that doubleheader, the Red Sox did come back and beat the Phillies by a score of 5-2. Tampa Bay Rays get beat by the Nationals 5-3. Houston Astros lose to Oakland Athletics 4-2. Kansas City Royals over Cleveland 8-6. New York Mets, they lost to the Orioles by a score of 11-2. And the Marlins beat up the Braves 8-0. The Cubs win 2 yesterday. San Francisco Giants, LA Dodgers, and the Padres. Our news time 7:49. Weather and traffic together are next.
$7:51 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
We're not finding any traffic accidents during this morning. The roads are clear. So, yeah, if you're getting on the turnpike, that's looking good. I-95 looks good through Martin and St. Lucie County. That's north and southbound. There's your latest look at traffic. In Palm City, it's a clear sky and 77. And from WPTV, here's more on our forecast from Katia Hall.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid 70s under partly cloudy skies and scattered rainfall possible for that morning commute. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s, feels like temperatures in the upper 90s, a mix of sun and clouds, and a 60% chance for afternoon to evening showers and storms. Tonight, lows in the mid 70s under partly cloudy skies and some isolated showers drifting in from off the ocean. We'll stay unsettled over the next few days. Then by early next week, slightly drier air moves on in, helping to drop those rain chances. Highs over the next 7 days in the upper 80s to low 90s. Overnight lows in the mid to upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katia Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
Introducing a new social media site designed to tick you off. It's Faceblech. With Faceblech, they don't pretend to care about you or your 2,000 friends. Your newsfeed will be filled with nothing but disseminating misinformation and propaganda, invading your privacy, doling your information out to third parties, and targeted ads, all not in chronological order, and with total messed up algorithms. With Faceblech, there's no content from your family, no catching up with friends from high school or college, nothing relevant and nothing you care about. Faceblech, because you've got to waste time looking down at your phone like everyone else instead of experiencing life offline.
Faceblech. Yes, Faceblech.
Instead of
Facebook, it's Faceblech.
or it's Wastebook.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of Facebook.
I don't know. Remember MySpace?
Yeah, I do.
Back in the day.
Were you on that?
No, I didn't. My kids were.
Were they really?
Yeah.
I was in that time period, that time frame where I could have been on it, but I don't think I ever went on it. I remember it well, though. That was back in the days of AOL and You've Got Mail.
Yeah, I remember that one. Programming note for all our listeners out there. Of course, Friday is September 11th. We have some very, very special interviews going to be happening on the program at 8:30 on Friday, September 11th, as we never forget that very tragic day that happened many, many years ago. Former President George W. Bush's chief of staff, Andrew Card, is going to be joining me on the program for about 6 or 7 minutes. Very busy guy on that day. He's the guy that walked into that second grade classroom where President George W. Bush was about to read to a bunch of second graders, and he had to deliver those 11 horrific words to the president while he was about to start reading to the second graders. And then when we're done interviewing former Chief of Staff Andrew Card, Colonel Mark Tillman is going to be here on the program as well. Colonel Tillman is the former pilot of Air Force One. He is the 12th presidential pilot of Air Force One during the George W. Bush regime. So I'm going to be real interested in picking his brain a little bit on the day's events and how he kept the president safe up in the air on the Flying Oval Office.
Just some important events and very important factors with two men that we really needed on that day.
Yeah, definitely so. So I'm really looking forward to speaking to both of those gentlemen. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, Martin County Administrator Taryn Christ is going to be here. We're going to get an update from her on what's going on in Martin County, if there's been any meetings, any new laws or rules or regulations that are possibly going into effect in the near future. We'll get all the riveting information from Taryn. That's going to be coming up after the news right here at WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next, and then we'll have hour number 3 of the Get Up and Go show for a Wild Wednesday is what we're calling it, since we're talking about just everything wild.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world. It's the Get Up and Go Show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer. 8:07 on the Get Up and Go Show, and it's time for our weekly visit with one and only Martin County Administrator, Taryn Krista. She's on our line right now. Good morning, Taryn.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We are fantastic, better than we both deserve as far as I'm concerned.
Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome, huh?
Yes.
I would have to agree with Evan.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
How are you doing? How's your family and how's the extended family doing down in Martin County?
We're all hanging in there as far as I can tell. After Labor Day, we had Labor Day obviously on Monday, but so we're here as Martin County government. We have pretty much trying to get ourselves back on track and back to what our normal should be.
Mhm.
And so we've opened up some of our facilities. We've got our employees, a lot of them who were working remotely back into the office, and we're just working our ways through that process.
I bet they're glad to get back in the office, right?
Yeah, I can see it. You can see it in their faces. Of course, you can't see all their
Mhm.
faces because we require the masks.
Right.
But you can just see it, and I think it's good for everybody to start feeling like they're back in that routine. You're getting up, you're getting dressed, you've got a purpose, and off you go.
They had a really long time to not to go back. I mean, I thought it was weird, like going back to my other job after being gone maybe a month and a half. I mean, these employees have been gone entirely long, so it must be weird getting back to it.
Yeah, but we've been bringing them back. Excuse me, intermittently. So, it's not like they haven't been in the office at all.
Okay.
It's just that we were, trying to stagger our shifts so that they weren't all here at once.
Right, exactly. And probably they had to get rid of their PJs and put on regular clothes as well, right?
And in some cases, probably, yes.
Actually comb their hair.
Yeah, comb their hair, do all that fun stuff.
Yep. In the schools, it seems, I talked with Superintendent Gaylord. I know you have her on regularly. Too,
Right.
I spoke with her yesterday, and it seems that they've worked out a plan. They've got it under control. I would say, and they've done a phenomenal job.
Yeah, I have not heard any news about the schools in Martin County as of late. We did not have Lori on the show this past Monday because it was a holiday.
Oh, okay.
She had the day off, but I'm real curious when I speak with her next Monday to get an update and see how the COVID situation is in the schools. We have not seen anything in the news about any schools in Martin County. It seems like up on the Treasure Coast in the Vero Beach area, there was a high school or two that had some cases, and they had to put the kids into social distance learning.
But they started later, So
Yeah.
I think if you remember, we started mid-August, and we kind of had those couple of incidents where we were kind of quarantining some classes and students and that.
Yeah.
But that's way behind us now.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. And so the one thing that I see that where we're getting us as Martin County, a lot of the residents are pushing us. We had that dashboard that we were putting up, and on there we had the cases daily.
Right.
And when the health department came forward and said that they had compromised, that the data had been compromised by a lab, and then the governor came out and said he was severing his relationship with Quest because
Right.
there was over 75,000 cases that were either duplicated or unaccounted for, or they weren't sure even if they were valid. I made the decision to take that daily information down because it's not reliable.
Mm-hmm.
So the only information we've got now on our dashboard is relative to the hospital, which I feel is valid information because the hospital has to report that to the state, and they, and we only have one hospital to deal with. So the ability to validate that information, I think, is 100% for the most part.
I'm looking at the One COVID dashboard that's, of course, for Florida, and it shows all the counties. And I clicked on
Mhm.
Martin County, and The numbers I'm looking at right now, total cases in Martin County is 4,560 with 120 deaths. Now, what concerns me is, every time they report a death, it's like they just want to put COVID in there for some reason, whatever. So, when I look at 120 deaths, I'm thinking, are really those 120 deaths truly just because of COVID?
No.
And that's where the question lies right there.
Well, my conversations with the health department have confirmed that when I spoke with the director of the health department, we had the conversation. All of those deaths, they occurred with the individuals having other underlying health issues.
Right.
The COVID didn't help, So aside from COVID, they had issues with their health, whether it's cardiac related or diabetes or a combined, or other lung issues, whatever.
Right.
They had these underlying issues now, but did COVID cause them to come to their demise sooner? So unfortunately, that's why they're identifying those as COVID. And I know the governor has been critical. Has been very concerned and criticized the health department and the individuals that have classified those deaths related to COVID. But at the end of the day, if they had it, you don't know how much that contributed to their illness and their unfortunate death. So, for that reason, everybody, I think the issue for me, because I'm more data driven as an individual.
Right.
Everybody, if we were all doing it consistently, then you could rely on the data.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. There was an instance where there were a couple of people killed in a car crash, and they were added to the list of deaths because of COVID, because they had COVID in their system.
Right.
Yeah, they tested positive, but the car crash is what killed them. So there's like where false information is being, that's incorrect data.
Right. But I'm glad that you're looking at that dashboard, because folks have been saying, well, how can I find out what goes on in Martin County? Well, if you go to the State Department of Health and you go to their COVID dashboard and you type in Martin, you can see where we are on a daily basis. So, for instance, yesterday we had 10 cases. The day before was 4. The day before that was 5. And then the day before that was 21. So you can kind of see, but the issue for me is if you go back and you see that huge spike, that was the time frame when they were doing that. They had that data dump, and until they can get that data straightened out and they can tell me that it's been validated, I'm reluctant to put it on our website, because I think that that's kind of irresponsible.
I agree with you.
If we don't know it's accurate. But for folks that want to go to that dashboard, you can go down there on the bottom are all these different threads that you can go to, and you can get all kinds of information, again, by county. And you can see, it'll tell you how many people have been tested. We've tested almost 32,000 people here in Martin County. And it'll tell you what our percent positive is, how many were, so it gives you a lot of trending information. And I just think that for those folks that want to follow this on a day-by-day basis, that's where I would go, and just know, though, that the numbers are not 100% accurate until they sort through this issue that they had.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the, at the charts, and I looked at it cases by county, and I did pull down Martin County. I noticed the median age is now 40 years old, where I remember at one time it was over 60.
Yep.
So that changed. I noticed a huge spike right after August 26th.
Yep.
It looked like August 27th is where like the highest spike was.
But that, Evan, was that day. That was when they had that issue with the data.
Right, exactly. Then you come all the way to September 6th, September 5th, and the chart, it's barely even legible. You can barely see anything there.
Yeah. Well, and again, it just comes down to how that data is portrayed. So what we don't know is how many of those positive tests had symptoms, or how many were asymptomatic.
Right.
And I think that it's, and that's the reason for the masks. We continue to still get individuals that are concerned about the mask mandate, and that's really to assist the county with those individuals that are asymptomatic. That you're walking around, and you have it. You don't know you have it because you don't have any symptoms, or your symptoms may be very, very mild, and you just never thought in your head, "Oh my gosh, maybe I should go get tested."
I've talked to a few people that have had false positives.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
Yes, I've experienced that too, and I've had individuals who've gone and did the rapid test and it's come back negative, but then they've gone ahead and done the swabbing, sent that out for analysis, and that comes back positive.
I feel pretty healthy, and whether I have underlying conditions or not, I just like to wear the mask and have people wear it around me because I just don't even want to get COVID. As strong as my system feels like it is and that I could fight it, that is just like one severe thing I would not want to get or have to go through.
Yeah, and then impact your family or those individuals that you're in constant contact with.
Yeah,
so,
I heard from the captain we spoke to yesterday from Martin County. No incidents in the beaches, the sandbars. Everybody behaved like they were supposed to.
For Labor Day, yeah.
Yeah,
that was nice. And we even had a few folks that I've talked to that were out and about or going to the beach over the holiday weekend said that they were surprised how many folks we had coming up from the south, even though the beaches to our south were open, but they still had restrictions on them to some extent.
Right.
So, everybody, it was nice to hear that everybody behaved and embraced the situation. And now with Palm Beach County going to phase 2, I think that, our impacts here in Martin County as far as individuals coming up from the south will be limited because there's no more reason for them. Some of them were coming up here for the restaurants and the bars and the different things that they could do. So, we'll see.
Yeah, the pressure is going to be off Martin County now, it seems like, now that Palm Beach County is going into phase 2. People, they can stay down there in Palm Beach County and patronize their restaurants down there. Not that Martin County wouldn't like the business, but it'll take some of the pressure off here.
Well, with us still being limited on the capacity that they can serve, just as an additional influx, if you will, that creates a kind of a strain on some of those places that are closer to the south border here. But it's all good. It's, from what I know, we've issued a lot of CARES funding to the businesses that have filled out the applications for that. We've got that very active. We moved it from Palm City into Salerno, and it's really hustling. And we're glad to be able to assist those businesses that have been impacted. So it's all good. We just keep working with our residents and our businesses and trying to keep this Martin County engine moving forward.
Very good, very good. Any meetings coming up in the near future our listeners need to be aware of? Okay.
On the 15th, we have our regular board meeting, and then at 5:05, we have our first budget hearing to discuss the budget and adopt the tentative budget and the millage rate. So, yes, so next Tuesday will be a full day for us.
Okay. Now, are these meetings open to the public? Can people attend, or are they strictly online?
They can come in. No, we've got our room limited, but we're both online, or they can come in. We've got a couple presentations. We actually have an individual coming in to discuss coyotes and the impact here in Martin County. One of our commissioners asked for that because there seems to be an influx in her neighborhood.
Okay.
And then we're also going to talk about resiliency and how we are monitoring the impacts of global warming and all the other things that are happening possibly to our particularly our coastal areas. So those will be at 2:30 and 2:45. So folks are more than welcome to come in or watch us online.
Always a pleasure to talk to Martin County Administrator Taryn Krizda on the program. She's here each and every Wednesday at 8 a.m. to give us an update on what's happening in Martin County. Taryn, always our pleasure. Thank you so much for everything you do for Martin County.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
So much. You
All right,
too.
bye-bye now. 8:22, it's news time. Let's go to the news desk. Here's Bonnie.
Thank you, Evan. Trump visiting Palm Beach County and makes environmental news while at the Jupiter Inlet Lighthouse with Governor Ron DeSantis and members of Congress yesterday. The president signed an order that extends the moratorium on offshore drilling.
And I will now sign this order. It's an order that does so much for the state of Florida. It's an order that I'm so proud to sign.
Trump says the order expands the moratorium from the Gulf Coast of Florida to the Atlantic coast of Florida, as well as and South Carolina. A Vero Beach gift shop expands its business model to boost sales, and WPTV's Lenny Supal explains.
Mason Beach offers a wide collection of glassware reflecting the coastal charm of Vero Beach. Owner Darcy Dunbar is celebrating 10 years of business, but this year she's finding a new way to meet her bottom line.
Now I'm going to start doing gift wrapping for people that don't buy things here, because I've had a call for that. I've done it in the past, but why not advertising?
Dunbar says September is usually a slow month for sales, so she's looking ahead to the holiday season and plans to partner with other small shops nearby.
With me bringing a wine license in, hopefully we'll be able to have some small events here. One of my neighbors is a wholesaler that I buy her product. The three of us are hopefully going to try to find a way to help each other.
Their next big chance to get some sales is going to be around the holiday season.
Dr. Lawrence Berge is the marketing professor at Palm Beach Atlantic University.
That last stretch of 2020 is crucial.
If you don't shop at your local stores on Main Street and the little restaurants in the corner, these places aren't going to survive.
He encourages retailers to entice customers with sales and discounts while offering their goods online.
E-commerce sales should set records in all categories.
Dr. Berge is also reminding customers to shop small.
If you want your local stores to survive, you can't buy everything online.
In the meantime, Dunbar is staying optimistic, knowing convenience drives the customer experience.
I can have a gift delivered to just about anywhere with a handwritten note.
In Vero Beach, Lenny Supal, WPTV News Channel 5.
Mop-up operations are underway in Brevard County. That after an explosion and large fire at the Far Chemical Company in Palm Bay yesterday morning.
Apparently what happened was there was a refrigeration issue, which started the fire. That caught some barrels of solvent on fire.
A fire department spokesman says they used foam to smother the flames and contain the chemical fumes. Nobody was hurt and only the plant had to be evacuated. Lastly, a Miami girl is the subject of an Amber Alert. The FDLE issued the alert yesterday for 10-year-old Randy Canyon. She's described as black with black hair in box braids, brown eyes, 5'3", and 140 pounds. Randy was last seen Saturday night in Miami on North Bay Shore Drive, and she may be with a white man in a white van. Football and fans getting excited about the NFL season opener tomorrow, starting tomorrow night with the Chiefs taking on the Houston Texans. And it's an invite to join our Lenny's Pick'em League for this football season. So all you have to do is drop a friendly email to our friend Mr. G, and he's at themusicalg@yahoo.com, themusicalg@yahoo.com. Drop him that email and he'll send you that link gladly to get into the NFL Lenny's Pick'em League for the season, and good luck. Our news time is 8:26. Weather and traffic together are next.
8:27 the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie on a wild Wednesday. Let's go check on traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Rivers. Bonnie?
And fortunately, Evan, not too wild on the roads this morning. It's really been a quiet Wednesday morning right here. Traffic looks good right now on the Turnpike. Looking good on I-95. No accidents, no slowdowns for US 1 included. There's your latest look at traffic. Partly cloudy sky in Stewart. It's 78. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid-70s under partly cloudy skies and scattered rainfall possible for that morning commute. This afternoon, highs in the upper 80s, feels like temperatures in the upper 90s, a mix of sun and clouds and a 60% chance for afternoon to evening showers and storms. Tonight, lows in the mid-70s under partly cloudy skies and some isolated showers drifting in from off the ocean. We'll stay unsettled over the next few days. Then by early next week, slightly drier air moves on in, helping to drop those rain chances. Highs over the next 7 days in the upper 80s to low 90s. Overnight lows in the mid to upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the biggest little radio show on the biggest little planet, the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie.
Coming up on 8:32 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie, it's time to take a visit with the one and only Randy Siegel with a daily dose of space in another place. Randy, good morning. How are you today, sir?
I am magnificent, and I am looking so forward to your Friday show.
Oh, it's going to be a good one, man. Riveting. It's going to shake you down to the bone when you hear what these guys have to say.
I think everybody should be listening to that one for 9/11 tribute. Well, back in 1978, NASA launched its Viking 2 spacecraft headed for Mars, which eventually made a soft landing and gave us a lot of data. In 1982, the Conestoga launch vehicle was launched by Space Services, Inc. of America. It's a Houston company that used a leftover Minuteman first stage along with some strap-on boosters to fly a satellite into orbit. It only had one launch. But what makes this interesting is that the founder of the company was David Hahn, and he hired Deke Slayton, one of the original Mercury 7 astronauts, to head the program. Slayton had just left NASA after running the Space Shuttle landing and approach validation tests, and he was the first hire. The first launch of the Conestoga vehicle went 1,103 miles high, and it was a complete success. However, that was the only launch of Conestoga. In 1994, NASA launched its STS-64 space shuttle mission. The mission was the first flight of the lighter in-space technology experiment and the first untethered U.S. extravehicular activity. It was an amazing mission, and with its program. In 2006, NASA launched STS-115. This particular mission flew the Space Shuttle Atlantis in the first assembly mission to the ISS after the Columbia successful missions, and it brought up a pair of solar arrays and batteries to the still growing International Space Station. Jim Bridenstine announced that the agency is funding 8 new projects exploring connections between the environment and COVID-19. He said advanced satellite imagery should help see whether or not there are any regions that are directly hit by that virus. On Thursday, NASA will announce during a keynote speech some really new and exciting missions. As far as the Orion program heading for the moon goes, NASA has selected Kathleen as manager of the agency's Orion program. In that role, she will be responsible for the development and operation of NASA's newest spacecraft that will carry astronauts on Artemis missions to the moon and return them safely to Earth. Komener begins her new position immediately, so it should be very interesting work for her. Komener succeeds Mark Koresh, Systems Division, in the Human Exploration and Operation Mission Directorate at NASA headquarters. Howard Hugh, who was acting Orion Program Manager, will serve as the Orion Deputy Program Manager, continuing to do very good work. Chris Cassidy has been working with the aquatic habitat capable of accommodating Medaka and zerbafish vertebrates. He also continues to work with other gene technologies on board the station. On the Russian segment, Anatoly Ivanushin worked to further understand how the heart performs during long-duration spaceflight by setting up and then wearing an electrocardiogram for a 24-hour period. The crew during routine maintenance and configured Earth observation hardware to capture changes on board the station, performing transfers to the Progress 75 cargo ship tanks in anticipation of its deorbit and destruction in the Earth's atmosphere in December. The cosmonaut also focused on the pilot, which uses a mathematical assessment model to develop recommendations and improvements for training of cosmonauts expected to perform complicated operating tasks such as docking and flying their spacecraft. NASA announced that they were going to buy from the Russians spring of 2021. NASA originally had scheduled to buy 2 this year. Well, NASA says they will not need carrying American astronauts into space. In a rather interesting move, the spacecraft that has been designed to launch people on brief suborbital trips into space has created a canvas for artwork. Uplift Aerospace has partnered with Blue Origins, the private company founded by Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, to paint commercial murals on the side of Blue Origin's New Shepard spacecraft, adding an artistic flair to the astronaut head of NASA's spaceflight program, Bill Gerstenmaier, who is now serving as a consultant to SpaceX, has said that NASA should not prematurely give up the International Space Station. He said that NASA has been discussing plans to eventually transition the space station to private space stations. A rush to a single objective and then have nothing left. We need to build infrastructure, leave pieces behind, government to move forward. Very sage advice from Bill Gerstenmaier. The fiscal 2019 budget that was released in early 2018 proposed ending federal funding for the ISS in 2025 as part of the low Earth orbit commercialization incentive. Well, Gerstenmaier thinks it is way premature to do anything like that. Northrop Grumman has won a bid with the Air Force to produce a new ground-based strategic deterrent continental ballistic missile. Well, one of the reasons why they did that was because they were the only bidder. So the Department of the Air Force confirmed in December that Northrop Grumman was the ICE. Yep, that's what's going to the International Space Station. Bulked up mice, or mutant mighty mice, held onto their muscle during the month-long stay at the International Space Station. When they returned to Earth, their bodybuilding physiques remained intact. Dr. C. Jin Lee of Jackson Laboratory in Connecticut sent 40 young female black mice to the space station in December. And when they come back, they were still ripped with all their muscles. Excuse me. Tomorrow we're going to tell you about coronavirus, messing up launches for Landsat and India. Tomorrow, have a great day, everybody.
Randy, don't go anywhere. I'm laughing because Bonnie and I looked at each other. And it's funny because you coughed and then you said, tomorrow we're going to talk about coronavirus.
Hey, you never know. Hopefully I don't have it.
I'm sure you don't. But it's just ironic you coughed and you said, then we're going to talk about coronavirus. So we just looked at each other. We just busted out laughing. And I had to say something.
No, it's okay.
It was good. It's all in good fun. All right, Randy, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
I look forward to
it. All right, bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Time to head on over to Ellie's Downtown Deli, where Bonnie is not coughing, but yet she's going to talk about all the great stuff at Ellie's.
And Randy just putting in like his own sound effects.
Yeah.
But no, over at Ellie's Deli today is where you should enjoy your lunch. We have a thick and hot sandwich for you. It's called the Hot Pastrami Melt. This one's on multi-grain bread. It's topped with spicy cilantro mayonnaise and hot pastrami just packed in there and piled high with pepper jack cheese, some sauteed onion, tomato, and if you want, served with both hot cherry and banana peppers. And, a cool side of coleslaw would go perfect, just a perfect side dish today for this sandwich. And at Ellie's Deli, get your desserts like key lime pie. Get a peanut butter pie. Take home the Oreo pie. The kids would love it for dessert tonight. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart now has patio back open. Plus, they're at 50% dining inside with that full menu for pickup or delivery. Ellie's also has full dinners available for takeout, plus their fabulous desserts as well. Call 772-781-6605 to order and pick up today. They're at 18 Southeast 6th Street, just off Colorado in Stuart. Call 772-781-6605. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart.
Time for the Precious Metals Report. It's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Gold is opening up at $1,935.90 an ounce. Silver opening up at $26.65 an ounce. That's the latest Precious Metals Report, all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. 8:44 news time once again. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Morning, Evan. Florida health officials are adding the lowest number of COVID-19 cases to the state's total in nearly 3 months.
The announcement increases the statewide total by 1,823 cases, which is the lowest single-day total since mid-June. The new infections bring Florida's overall case count to more than 650,000. There are 44 more deaths related to coronavirus complications, with the state's virus-related death toll up to more than 11,900 residents. I'm Rick Hoschel.
Nurses are still keeping families out from visiting loved ones in long-term living facilities 1 week after Governor DeSantis signed an order ending the 6-month lockdown. WPTV's Katie LeGrone has more.
They're not letting us in. 1 week later, and they're not letting us in.
Mary Daniel is on a mission to reunite other families.
And I'm telling them, do not let them get away with this. You cannot let them just manipulate you so that they're not going to follow the governor's orders.
Daniel first made headlines months ago when she took a job as a dishwasher just to see her husband in his facility. But 1 week after Florida's governor signed an order ending the 6-month lockdown on Florida nursing homes and assisted living facilities, thousands of family members desperate to get in are reporting.
Frustrated, disappointed, anxious.
I don't know if I'll see her alive before this all gets resolved.
What we're getting is no, we're not doing that. No, you're going to have to be 6 feet apart. No, that's not what the rule says. I mean, they're telling us that we don't know what the rules are, what
limits visitation and rules if you're a compassionate caregiver, essential caregiver, or general visitor. Daniel, a member of the governor's task force that helped develop them, says she's getting so many calls and messages. She recently posted this video on Facebook explaining to families how to fight back.
It's incredibly important that we know more than they know.
Daniel asking families to fill out a survey she created on what they're being told. The results she plans to share with the governor and the state's Agency for Healthcare Administration, which oversees group homes. In a call with facilities last week, its boss recognized time needed to coordinate visiting plans, but warned not to take too much of it.
The expectation is that you are moving forward with a sense of urgency to allow visitation.
In an email, a spokesperson with Florida's Healthcare Association shuts down if a facility has one case of COVID in the building. So it's important all the steps are in place to ensure the safety of residents. These daughters just want to see their mom again.
Now I'm just more angry about it.
This woman hug her older sister.
Hug will say to her, she's there again.
And countless others who after 6 months can't take another minute being told to stay away.
There's no reason in the world that people should not be in by the end of this week. There's no reason in the world.
Loved ones should read the governor's final order and the 14-page task force report. That way, if you're turned away for a reason cited incorrectly, you can point that out to the facility. We've posted it all on our website. Katie LeGrone, WPTV News, Channel 5.
And a Vero Beach gift shop is expanding its business model to boost sales. WPTV's Linny Supal explains.
Mason Beach offers a wide collection of glassware reflecting the coastal charm of Vero Beach. Owner Darcy Dunbar is celebrating 10 years of business, but this year she's finding a new way to meet her bottom line.
Now I'm going to start doing gift wrapping for people that don't buy things here. because I've had a call for that. I've done it in the past, but why not advertise them?
Dunbar says September is usually a slow month for sales, so she's looking ahead to the holiday season and plans to partner with other small shops nearby.
With me bringing a wine license in, hopefully we'll be able to have some small events here. One of my neighbors is a wholesaler that I buy her product. The three of us are hopefully going to try to find a way to help each other.
Their next big chance to get some sales is going to be around the holiday season.
Dr. Lawrence Berge is the marketing professor at Palm Beach Atlantic University.
That last stretch of 2020 is crucial.
If you don't shop at your local stores on Main Street and the little restaurants in the corner, these places aren't going to survive.
He encourages retailers to entice customers with sales and discounts while offering their goods online.
E-commerce sales should set records in all categories.
Dr. Berge is also reminding customers to shop small.
If you want your local stores to survive, you can't buy everything online.
In the meantime, Dunbar is staying optimistic, knowing convenience drives the customer experience.
I can have a gift delivered to just about anywhere.
Sue Paul, WPTV News Channel 5.
The Tampa Bay Lightning aim for a 2-0 series lead when they clash with the New York Islanders tonight in Game 2 of the NHL Eastern Conference Final in Edmonton. And with the NFL starting tomorrow night, you want to make your pick. Will it be the Chiefs or will it be the Texans? We invite you to get into Lenny's Pick'em League. Just drop Mr. G an email at themusicalg@yahoo.com so he can send you that link to sign up for Lenny's Pick'em League. News time is 8:50. Weather and traffic together.
$8:51 the time. The Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and
Seeing a nice clear ride on this Wednesday morning. Traffic running smoothly on U.S. Highway 1 and the major highways. So far, so good. There's your latest look at traffic. Partly sunny, it's 80 in Stewart, and here's our forecast at WPTV from Katia Hall.
This morning along the Treasure Coast, temperatures starting off in the mid-70s under partly cloudy skies and scattered rainfall possible for that. For afternoon to evening showers and storms. Tonight, lows in the mid-70s under partly cloudy skies and some isolated showers drifting in from off the ocean. We'll stay unsettled over the next few days. Then by early next week, slightly drier air moves on in, helping to drop those rain chances. Highs over the next 7 days in the upper 80s to low 90s. Overnight lows in the mid to upper 70s. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katia Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back.
56 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. Joining us on the line right now is Sergeant Brian Bosio from the Stewart Police Department, who's actually going to be in studio with us this Friday. It's going to be riveting entertainment because he is going up against Officer Ken Leadham, or should I say Colonel Ken, for the tiebreaker for 5-second rule.
That's going to be crucial.
Now, I tried to get Officer Leadham on the line with us, but he was busy doing other things. So Brian Bosio made time out of his busy schedule to be on with us. So I
just remember that. Remember that Friday.
I will. Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Good morning, Bonnie.
We have our very special guests that are going to be on, and then you guys are going to kick off the 8 a.m. hour with 5-second rule to find out who's going up against Chief Tuminelli next Friday here in studio, which will be on the 18th, to take the Grand Mac Daddy prize home to have the claim to fame. Who is the true 5-second rule champion?
It's certainly going to be an exciting day, and I'm still training hard, still getting up at 3 a.m., drinking all the smart water that I can, and I'm taking this very seriously.
Wow. Okay, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Now I understand that your wife has been quizzing you with the game as well.
Oh, yeah. We've been practicing. We've been, I've got my kids quizzing me. I'm taking this very seriously, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. I know that Ken has been talking a lot of trash,
right?
Not just on the radio, but also all around the police station. So yeah, he's going to be
That's some harsh words.
Did you?
Yeah, very
He's
confident.
listen
very
to.
confident.
Can you hear the tone of his voice, Bonnie?
Yeah.
He said he's going to kick the crap out of him.
I prefer to call it laser focused, Devin. Laser focused.
Did you buy
Yes.
the game so you can look at?
Because he bought the first edition. I have the second edition here.
They're different editions.
They're different
then.
editions.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and I didn't buy the game. But I did it once, and I told the family about it before I knew it. It was on my coffee table, so I really had nothing to do.
Yeah,
with
the wife Hishin, and I have the second edition.
Yeah, she bought it. It's not even Christmas yet. You're a fortunate
It's all
man.
on the up and up. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So,
but Evan, do you even have a prediction who's going to win this one between Ken and Brian Bosio?
It's really
I'm unsure.
it's really hard to tell.
I can't, no offense, Brian, but I can't even fire out a prediction because I think it's going to be just so close.
well, he's a very worthy opponent. That's for sure. But
You
I'm
are too.
confident that I'll be taking the victory home.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Going to be good.
Yeah.
And then of
Oh,
course,
it's going to be good. Needless to say, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be exciting radio. I encourage everyone to tune in. Don't miss it. But expect Brian Bosio to go.
you are aware that Megan McRoberts from Channel 5 is going to be here as our special guest judge this
funny,
Friday.
I talked to her last night on the phone about it, and she brought it up. So yes, I am fully aware that she will be judging, and she says she's going to call it down the middle, but we'll see.
Well, I know how she is, and she's a straight down the middle kind of a gal.
I think she'll be fair.
She'll be
seems
very fair.
like a fair lady.
Friday in studio.
Can't wait.
All right,
We'll
talk
see
to you
you
then. All right, bye-bye. Wow. Man, funny. These guys are going to have boxing gloves
I
on.
know.
It's going to be crazy.
I don't even know if I should stay in the building. I might
It's
get
gonna
hit with
be-
something.
We might have to pad the walls. I don't know. It's going to be brutal. Anyway, all right, folks. Hey, thanks for listening. Thursday, Maine. Yeah, just like they're going to do on Friday. We're WSC next for now, and